Um, I wanted to talk about how coming out of like the need to control and coming out of comfort and coming out of your comfort zone in general, it requires a certain amount of trust and faith, as well as surrendering, and having like a confidence, or is it, I really just want to say it's a trust, having a trust that things are going to unfold in the best way for you, even if you don't know exactly how that's going to happen. So you have to let go of that control. You can't have control when you are trying to step outside of your comfort zone, because there's no predictability there. Okay? And I think for me, what I begun to do was just little things and demystifying the unknown is what I want to say. And I began to do little things in my day-to-day, in my everyday life, that shook up the energy for me, right? And on some level, you may think, okay, well, just because you decide to wake up at a different time in the morning, that doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna change your life, your whole life. No. But doing these little shifts, doing these little things that bring you out of your comfort zone is how you build up to taking the big leaps, right? So what I wanted to do was just think of ways that I'm existing in comfort, things that I do that are so natural and innate to me, and switch it up. Not in like a bad way, or not in a destructive way, that's what I want to say. Not in a destructive way, but in a way of like, let's try something new, you know? And so what I did that week was I did some of those things. One of those things was, this was before that, before even I decided to come up with that, I actually said yes to this invitation I got from this girl I just met. And like I said, I'm an earth sign, so I don't be saying yes. I don't be saying yes. I really, like, sometimes I don't be open. So this is a season I really decided to like really learn and understand what it means to be open. And so I said yes to going to this gathering, and it was really nice, and I felt like I came out of my shell and I took a leap and opened up to something that could potentially grow and expand me. So I'm really, really glad I did that. And from there, I just started like in my daily life, like trying to shake stuff up and do things differently. Like I got into biking. Like I started riding my bike. Well, actually, I only did this once. I'm gonna be so real with y'all. I only did it once, but I'm like, oh my god, like I want to do this more, because I like the feeling that it gives me. And I like how I feel when I'm biking. And biking is something that, you know, I used to do a lot when I was a kid, but like it's not like incorporated into my routine. So like switching it up and going biking was like, maybe I should add this into my routine. Like that's what the last week of Sagittarius season was all about, was being open to the different unknown ways that I can expand myself, if that makes sense. Because Jupiter does deal with expansion. So it's like being open to the unknown, the tiny pockets of growth that are available to me, and actually looking for them, right? And so I remember after that week, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do some of the stuff, but I did notice an internal shift, like in just how I perceived the world. Okay, how I perceived also going after my dreams, or my dreams in general. And I started to dream bigger. like literally being like, what is really possible for me, right? And dream on a bigger scale of what I thought is possible for me. So going outside of that comfort zone of what, okay, this is something I can realistically do, and stepping into the unknown, stepping beyond the barriers of what's realistically around me. Like, it was interesting. Like, it was a very dream boardy week instead of like a I actually did stuff week. Like, I actually like I actually did a challenge, but it was like an internal challenge, and it was me internally opening my eyes up to the possibilities and the growth that is available when I decide to dream past my limits. I actually have Sagittarius rule over my 11th house, so it was like, what could happen if you went past that self-perceived barrier you have in your mind for all the things you can do and when you have to do it by? What if you pushed the envelope a little bit more, you know? Because, you know, Sagittarius energy, it does go with like Jupiter itself is the ruler of Sag. It is about going beyond, going bigger and bigger. And it's like, I think of something just like filling up like this, right? So it's just like, what if, you know, like, what if I didn't think I wasn't capable? You know, so there was a lot of that. It was a lot of testing my belief in what is possible for me in this lifetime. And I will say that Sagittarius season made me aware of how much more room I have to expand, because we're never really done growing. No matter what point we get into in life, no matter how comfortable we feel, there's always going to be a space where you can stretch a little more. Okay? And that's what I feel like I was doing on a more internal level. I feel like I was stretching the bounds, stretching my internal bounds, right? So that's a word, like Sagittarius season, because after Sagittarius season is Cap season. So it's like you stretch yourself so that in Capricorn season you can really solidify and get to building upon these possibilities, upon these I want to say potentials that you saw in Sagittarius season. Even though Sagittarius season isn't directly connected with potentials, it's like, before you can get to building the dream, really, truly, you have to believe in it. Like, the belief has to come first. And I think that's why Sagittarius season comes before Capricorn season. But I also think that, like, that's why, like, sometimes Sagittarius, they can have the belief, but, you know, without them actually grounding it down, it's not really going to turn into anything tangible. You know, like, they can have these dreams, they can have these, like, visions, because I think of Sagittarius like these visions for their life, but they never take the time to plan and plot them down. Okay, and that's why Capricorn season is after, and that's where we're at now. Like, it's about plotting time. It's about, okay, you grew your belief in self and how much you're able to expand. Now it's time to ground that shit. And it makes me think of the saying, faith without works is dead. You cannot really have faith without doing the work. And that's why Capricorn comes after Sag. So, let's see on that. What other point I have to mention? Oh, okay. I kind of already touched on this, but I'll touch on it. My last point. But my last point, for my Sag season chronicles and how I've been going beyond the barriers, right, is the magic is in taking the leap. Before, this is the key part, taking the leap blindly. Before you can see or calculate or think about what's on the other side or think about what you're leaping to. I mean, this kind of sounds like, okay, are you saying just to, like, take a blind leap of faith. And it's like, kind of yes, kind of no, like for the right things. But what I'm saying is, like, this season taught me that sometimes the best thing for you to do is, sometimes not even the best thing, the most magical thing is trusting. And based off that trust, acting. You know, having such a strong belief in something that you know it don't matter what happens, you gonna be good, you gonna be held, you gonna be supported. And I really do think that's what Sagittarius season is about. It's about the magic in taking leaps and what happens when you do, and you know, wow, like, that shit actually worked out better than I thought it could. Because if you would have thought about the leap, you would have thought about all the ways it wouldn't have been able to work out, and all the ways it would have failed, and all the ways you would have busted your ass, and you probably wouldn't have done it. So a lot of times we do have to go into things blindly, because if we know the path ahead, I don't know, I heard this somewhere too before, but like, if we actually knew all the details of the path ahead, we wouldn't want to walk it. Like, seriously. That's why there's some details that you just don't need to know. You know, you don't need to know everything, or how, you don't need to know the exact when and where about how everything's going to play out, because I guarantee you, if you did, you wouldn't want to do what you need to do. You know, it's kind of that vibe. You'd be scared. You let fear stop you. You let people pleasing stop you. And that's why I think Sagittarius season is the season and the time where a lot of people are just like, fuck it. It's kind of like Aries season, because that's another fire sign, but it's different. Like, it's more like, why not? You know, what do I have to lose? Kind of, that's the vibe I got. Like, I'm realizing, like, and it's really the only thing you have to lose is what you've been familiar with, you know? And I'm learning that to get comfortable with the unknown, you have to be okay with possibilities. You have to be okay with the unknown. Wait, did I just say the same thing? I'm sorry, y'all. Sometimes my mind does that. Let me take a break here. Sorry. Let me come back. To go beyond comfort, you have to be okay with going into the unknown. Taking a journey where you don't know all the pit stops is about to happen. Literally, you don't know that you're going to have to run for 20 miles or whatever the case may be. You don't know every single thing that's going to happen on this journey, but it is trusting that you're going on this journey for a reason. Like, there is a very, like omnipresent, like, I don't know, I'm just gonna say God. It's a very God-like energy, like God or whoever, whatever you believe in, put me on this path for a reason, and I don't know exactly what's in front of it. I don't know what's on it, but I know that I need to walk it. And it's really, 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 really deep down about knowing. And I think Sagittarius season required me to trust in my knowing of my path, of where I want to go, the journeys I want to take, the journey I am on, and what it requires for me in order to keep expanding on this journey. You know, so we're all on our own different journeys. We all are going to be called to go and expand on that journey in some way, shape, or form. And it's going to be different. But I want you to ask yourself, with this journey that you're on currently, how can you go beyond what you know? Right? How can you take a step into your faith, whatever that may be, you know, without exactly knowing all the details and the facts and the figures? you know? So it's like a timing of trusting. And it's kind of, yeah, I'm gonna say this. It's the timing of trusting in where you're being led. In a higher power, in a sense, and that things have meaning to it, and that nothing really happens for no reason. That's also a thing, right? There's a reason that you went through this, or that you are meant to be doing this right now, or that you need to move here, even though you don't know what the fuck is over there. Like, there is a reason and a meaning and a scheming to all of this. But it starts with you first trusting in the unfolding. Okay? Trusting that you're not going to have all the answers. You're not going to know all the answers to the questions that come up. But going where you are led, even if you don't know what the fuck is over there. Did you hear what I said? Even if you don't know what the fuck is over there, going where you're led. Because there is something that you are meant to make a meaning out of over there. Okay? Whatever it may be. So I'm going to leave with that, because I think I'm starting to ramble and yamble and yapple and all that stuff. And I kind of want to keep this short and cute, and because this is my first, it's not my first video, but it's my first like kind of planned video. So I was a little nervous, and you know, my words got a little scrambled and all that. So yeah, you can support me as a creative. I'll put all the ways you can support me, but the number one way you can support me as a creative is by liking the video. Yes, of course. Liking the video. It's free, and it's free to give love as well. So if you want to support in the comments, you want to like this video, you want to share it, be so generous to share this knowledge. You know, that is very Sagittarian, sharing knowledge as well. And also you can follow and support this channel and where this channel is going, because this in itself, this channel is a journey for me. So if you're so inclined to see where that journey goes, go ahead and support and subscribe and follow me along this path that I'm walking, even though I don't know where it's going. Okay, this is my leap of faith, okay, in action. And also in the link down below, I'll have some what am I trying to say? In the link down below, I'll have my Substack, and I also have yeah, I just have Substack now. So yeah, just be my Substack, and you can go support that if you're so inclined to want to see my readings and my writings. Yeah, I think that's it. Have a lovely, lovely day. Mwah.
Soundstripe.